So about 3 weeks ago, I bought this truck. It's a 94 Chevy Cheyenne 1500. I paid roughly, I don't remember how much I paid for it, but I bought it real cheap. And the whole point was I needed a dump truck. The reason why I needed a dump truck was because my normal truck, we're actually using that for vacation, traveling. It has a camper shell on it. It's a real nice truck. And using it for a dump truck, it was getting scratched and dents and all that stuff, getting the inside dirty. So for yard debris and house construction, because we're still remodeling our house. So when I first bought this truck, it was running real rough. I mean, it just had a miss and a bad idle problem. And I mean, it smelled real rich of gas and it just was not running real right. So one of the first issues I found was that the intake manifold, if I could get this in the camera over here, was blown. So as you can see, it's nice and clean and everything. The intake gaskets were just completely shot and blown, rotted out because GM's poor coolant issues and poor gasket design caused it to go bad. So as you can see in here, if I can get that in there we go. Had a lot of rust and contamination from the coolant issues. So that was the first issue. So I started with that, took the intake apart, put in new intake manifold gaskets, found out the passages were just completely clogged and cruded, and also I believe the EGR or the emissions passages were also completely clogged. So that opened up another slew of issues that I wound up finding. So from there, bring you over here to the parts. I took off the EGR valve, and as you can see in the EGR valve, I had to get a new one. Well, the old one's at my dad's house. He tried to fix that, but the diaphragm was broken on it. So I had to get a new EGR valve. So I've been waiting probably about a week for this valve to get in because it's just cheaper to get it online. It's a Borg Warner. I like buying their parts. And then on Advance Auto's website, if you order their parts online or have them shipped to you or pick it up in the store, they give you 20-25% off the order, plus their points and rewards. Actually a pretty good deal. So been waiting on this part to get this truck at least started and see how it goes. So got that. Then also the throttle body over here, because this throttle body injection was leaking. It had a little gas leak over here. I think it was on this one over here, real wet. So I had to rebuild the throttle body. So rebuilt the throttle body. Well, of course, it didn't end over there completely. Let's go over here, which I kind of knew about this part. Let me get my flashlight. Pick it over here. I knew about this part when I bought the truck, but when I went underneath, as you can see, I had to put a brand new exhaust in it. The exhaust that was in there, which I threw it out, I should have kept it to kind of show, looked like Swiss cheese. I mean, it had holes and holes and it was just barely hanging on. So I got this one from Advance Auto, same thing, 20-25% off, which was actually a real good deal. I paid $150 for the cap back. The pipes on this are actually bigger. They're 3-inch pipes, which are nice, a beefier muffler. And it just bolted right up nice and easy. Had to do some modifications to the hanger, if you can see what I kind of put over there. Just get some different hangers, and I mean, this thing is nice. It's nice. Beefed up pretty well. So put in the new exhaust. Well, as I was down here, if you can look, this is the drive shaft over here. The U-joint on the back was sticking pretty bad. So I had to put new U-joints. I also had to do the one in the front. Now, if you look up in the front over here, as you can see right there, get my finger to point right over here, this motor mount, you can see the rubber, this metal was sitting right down here because the motor mount was pretty much dissolved. I mean, it just was this gooey, disgusting material. And the reason what was going on with that is because this seal over here was shot and it was linking all the manual transmission fluid, the synchro mesh, onto this. So when it leaked onto this, rotted this out, the drive angle was bad, probably wore out the the U-joints a lot more premature than what they were meant to go, so I had to change the seal. Had to change the U-joints, had to change that just to make it drivable. So I got that fixed, got that squared away on that. So that's kind of been another holdup, just waiting on parts just to get this truck running. Well, of course, it doesn't end there. Take a look at these tires. If I could get it right over here. Let's see, where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at? Let's go to the other side. The other side will actually show it better. Got a little more light over here. As you can see in these tires, yeah, that's metal. And this thing is bald as crap. So think there's a front end issue here going on. Might just need a simple alignment, or the front end might have play. So I haven't gotten that far because I haven't had the truck running in the past couple of weeks because of the intake, the exhaust, the drive shaft, the manual transmission issue. So now I got to figure this out. So the truck originally had these aftermarket tires on there. They looked okay. They were too wide, and by being too wide, they were actually rubbing against the steering, the stabilizing bar. So couldn't use those because now I can't make a full turn with too wide tires, and I don't believe in spacers. That's just a matter of preference. So had to use these, which these actually, when I bought the truck, came with the truck, and yeah, these are just bald and worn out prematurely. The other tires were just rotted. I mean, they were just dry rotted, completely unsafe, and these are not much better. So that's been one issue. So let's go inside. Inside the truck, I have that pretty much taken apart. Well, what's going on inside the truck was, me personally, when I like to ride any vehicle, I like to have tunes. The radio is pretty nice to have. I mean, even if it's just a dump truck, I want to listen to music while I'm going to the radio. So what they did was they put an aftermarket radio, and of course they cut these wires directly right at the pin, which I pulled the pins out, so I couldn't even use it. So I had to go to the junkyard and get the pin. Well, on top of that, I had a rat nest of wires and aftermarket wiring for this aftermarket radio they had put in, and some aftermarket brake for heavy duty towing or whatever jazz. So yeah, had to do a lot of wiring and de-pimping. MTV had pimp my ride. Well, I have to de-pimp my ride because I guess that's what they tried to do over here. Over here, I was just taking a look at the manual transmission. This is a 4.3 Vortec V6 with a 5-speed manual, which is actually kind of cool because they're cheaper, easy to fix. I just need to check the liver because the shift liver has a bit of play going on over here. So you have to open that up and see if there's a bad bushing, whatever. I'm not familiar with this transmission, so yeah, we're gonna just see what's going on in there. Well, I took that apart. Had to clean up this truck pretty good because it was pretty gross. Have to get an armrest because, well, this armrest is broken. I got the other piece right over there. So yeah, that's what's been going on with this truck. I mean, overall, considering, I mean, the body is in great shape. If I see if I can get an angle. See if I can get in. I mean, the body's in great shape. I mean, normal paint fade and little dings here and there, but I mean, no rust for an old truck, which is great because it's a Southern truck. And then all these little dings and dents. I mean, I think that's probably the only dent I have over here on this. So when the truck ran, the engine actually sounded pretty good. There was no knocks, ticking, or tacking, or any little noises. The engine sounded pretty good. It just wasn't running right, and that has to contribute to the throttle body injectors leaking, the EGR valve just being completely shot, the poor exhaust, and then I also got to see what other issues that may show up. All right. The one suck thing about this truck that I kind of not a huge fan of is it doesn't have factory installed AC. They have this pulley to delete it, and it doesn't even have the wiring harness or the vent system to install it. So I'm thinking about in the future getting a parts truck and gutting the inside, getting the ductwork, the wiring, the control switch, compressor, and converting this to factory AC. It might be a big job, but with this truck, let's see if I can get this right over here. It's a real simple dash. It comes out pretty easy, so I mean, it's worth doing it. The good thing about this truck, like I said, it's just the body's in great shape. I like the style. Let's see if I get this in the issue. It has the flare side body. I'm hoping later on today, probably tonight, I should get her started. When she's started, then I can get out of here. And I don't know what my plans is for this truck. I mean, I like the body style. I like the old one for it. I'm gonna fix it, use it as a dump truck. Maybe in the future, pop a 350 in it and convert it to an automatic. It's a 5-speed now, so I don't know what I plan to do with it. Just one real quick. Let's get to the back. They put in this aftermarket heavy duty bumper, which it's okay, I guess, but it's actually pretty overkill. And if I get underneath, and show you, what they had did was they had this huge metal bar for towing that was attached to there and that other location. It came out to about right around over here, somewhere around over here. And that was for heavy duty towing with some aftermarket towing brackets and whatnot. I don't know what they did with that. But by having that bracket, I was actually not able to get the spare tire in here, so that kind of sucked too. So we had to take a grinder, cut that out. That thing must have weighed like 200-300 pounds. Me and my dad did it, and we were able to knock that out. So thankful for him. Huge shout outs to my dad for always coming through, helping out, and kind of helping me pick up the slack because I'm so busy working and family life. So dads are awesome. Huge shout out to him if he's watching this, which I hope he does. He better, because he just subscribed, so he better watch this. All right, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Comment below, let me know what you think, and thanks for watching.